I'm Kea, and I'm hanging out with grownfolksmusic.com.
grownfolksmusic.com.
Oh, Tia, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This is
Thank you
another
for having
spotlight.
me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. I've been following you and getting to know your music and a little bit about you for the last several years. And I actually pulled this out in honor of having somebody from Pittsburgh. This is a Pittsburgh Crawford's Negro League hat. So,
Okay.
wanted to,
Oh,
something for the hill folks and whatever. So,
all right.
tell us.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. I know a little bit about your background as far as coming from a musical family, and I know that that's really important to us here at Grown Folks. Those connections that you can make with family and mentors. So could you tell us a little bit about your upbringing in music?
Sure. I'm born and raised in Pittsburgh. I have two parents that are musically inclined. My
Mm,
dad's a guitarist and a singer, and my mom is a violinist.
wow.
So I grew up hearing music all around the house. If it
Mhm,
wasn't for him rehearsing for a gig, I heard her playing music or
mhm,
playing her violin.
mhm,
Uh, so I grew up with a strong love for music. And I
mhm,
started singing probably around 5 and 6 years old. I have a
mhm,
sister, and she has a beautiful voice. Haven't heard her in years, but we used to sing together when we were young. And I wrote my first song with her when I was around 9 or 10 years old. It wasn't until later on through the years um, that I picked up writing. It's so funny
mhm,
because I picked up writing poetry actually probably at the age of 12. It was
mhm,
poetry and writing books, and somehow music came into play later on in life.
mhm,
I would,
mhm.
if I heard a beat, I would write to it because I was
Wow.
so, I'm going to say, well versed in
Mhm,
poetry, I would say. And if I heard a beat, I would write to it. So I started writing music um, for a long time. I kept like a notebook of songs that I had wrote, and I kept
mhm,
like voice recordings, and I didn't know what to do. So around 2014, I started looking for a producer, and I couldn't
mhm,
find. And it wasn't until 2015 I went to a local church. This was my first time there, and this was nothing but
ah,
God. And the pastor's daughter and I had struck up a conversation once service was over. And I heard some of her music. She
oh,
gave me the
wow.
names of two producers. Yeah, she gave me the
Yeah.
name of two producers. And she gave me the number to one of the producers. And
Mhm.
him and I just couldn't meet up. His schedule
Okay.
was busy. And I was so eager because I had these songs that I
Mhm,
really wanted
mhm.
to start the process on. And so he passed me down to the other producer
Okay.
uh, that happened to be the minister of music in one of the biggest Black churches here. His name is Dwayne Folk.
Okay.
So uh, Dwayne and I talked and we scheduled uh, to get together. And I met him at the church. And
Yeah.
we were in the pulpit. And I came with my original music,
Mhm,
starting with one song. And we put the song together. Uh, he sent me the dummy track. He had his
mhm.
recorder on, I had mine. And
Wow.
he sent me the dummy track. And I was in tears, Ivan. I was in tears. I
Mm,
was blown away because I felt like my vision had finally came to life.
mhm, mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
And
Oh.
he sent me the track.
Mhm.
He told me to practice with it. Now, when I came into him, I didn't know anything about the recording process. I didn't know anything
Wow.
about how to even structure a song. I didn't know.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so he taught me. He taught me. Um, he taught me about verses, the
Mhm.
bridge,
Mm.
chorus, melodies. He even taught me what a vamp was. I was like, what the heck is a vamp?
Yeah.
What are
Oh,
you
yeah.
talking about? So to make a long story short, um, I came into him. We scheduled. to start our first session, and we started uh, we started the process of putting together the first song, which is called "I Love You," and
Yes.
this was in
Yeah.
2015. This
Okay.
was in 2015, and I released that song in 2017.
Wow.
Uh, yes, that's
Yeah.
my first single, and then I've been releasing singles ever since
Mm-hmm.
2017.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to back up a little bit, I left out this part here. I've been performing. I started performing around 2009, sitting in with
Oh,
bands.
wow. Yeah.
Yes, I left. I'm sorry, I left.
Yeah.
I know I skipped. Had to get to the
That's
meat.
okay. That's all
Um,
right.
but
That's right.
this was probably around 2007. I had an
Hmm.
epiphany, and
Okay.
something in me said, "Okay, Kea, I really wanted to pursue music as a career."
Oh,
And
wow.
so I sought out a vocal coach, and the late, great Elaine Kate is her
Okay.
name. She was my Mediterranean mother, very, very close with her.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. She was beautiful. She trained me off and on for several years. But in between that training, there was a period where I couldn't get to her because she lived a
Mm.
distance, and I
Hmm.
didn't want to stop learning music. And so I enrolled in a music program
Oh,
that was, I'm not sure if they're still operating, called the Jazz Workshop Inc.
oh,
Now, the
nice.
funny part
Yeah.
about it, yes, the jazz work. Now, the funny part about it was that I am into R&B music. At the time,
Hmm.
I didn't know about jazz, nothing at
Hmm.
all. And it's funny because she, my vocal coach at the time, was well versed in jazz and
Ah,
American classics and musicals. And here I go coming to her with some R&B music that she knew nothing about.
wow. Okay. Yeah. Mhm.
I get in that jazz program, and I was just there for a semester.
Okay.
Um, I took a little bit of vocal training. They taught
Hmm.
me how to get on stage, and because we had different recitals, and they taught me how to um, perform with the
Hmm.
band.
Oh,
And
yeah.
while in that program, I was taking the bass guitar as well.
Oh,
When I
nice.
stopped taking the bass, yes, yes,
Hmm.
because I wanted to play and sing at the time. So I stopped playing the bass. I stopped taking the bass
Hmm.
and really just focused on singing. I
Hmm.
stayed in that program for a semester, and then I started around 2009, started setting in with bands. I
Hmm.
built my repertoire. I started setting in with bands, and there you have it. I've been performing professionally for over a decade locally.
Oh, wow.
And
Oh, I love it.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that's the meat of it all.
Yeah. Well, that brings me to a question that I've been asking many people.
Okay.
For the last, almost a year now, we've been in this period of kind of isolation and so forth and so
Mhm.
on. How has that impacted you as far as I mean, clearly on the live side, you're probably not able to do, as much, but how have you been keeping, those chops going or, um, are you doing any live streams or what have you been up to on that side?
I haven't done any live streams. I want to do so, but I've been writing. I've been writing
Mm.
more. I I wrote "How If You Hear Me" in the midst of COVID
Oh,
uh,
wow.
last year. In the
Yeah.
midst of, and I went in the studio once we could kind of get out a little bit, and
Hmm.
I put the vocals down for that. So I've been pretty much writing
Hmm.
and practicing. I just started
Hmm.
back really practicing because I want to work on my vocal chops
Yeah.
and ear training and things like that. But
Hmm.
I've been really trying to stay busy on the creative side
Okay.
and
Yeah.
uh, just writing.
Yeah. Yeah. I as you mentioned at the outset, and I really like this approach that you kind of made for yourself, which is
Yeah.
you've been releasing singles, which I love. I'm a big proponent. And so that that strategy for you, was that something to use to build, to build your audience before you come with a, an EP or a full length, or what were your thoughts behind that approach? Yeah.
Absolutely. That's it.
Okay.
I want to build my audience. I want them to experience what I have coming leading up
Mm,
to because I'm promoting myself to a cold audience. Well, right now the audience is
mm,
kind of warm and kind of hot right now, but at the beginning there was a cold audience. Nobody really knew
mm,
about me.
mm-hmm,
So yes, the goal is to continue putting out the singles that will lead up to the EP, and maybe doing some cover music as well, and
okay.
with some other producers.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
Oh,
you're
that's
definitely
awesome.
the plan.
Okay. Speaking of which, you just mentioned one of my favorite things that I've started to really get into more, which is covers. Um, and one of the things about covers, just interested. I mean, I have some thoughts of who they might be, but if you could share a couple of, some folks that maybe have influenced you. I want to see if I'm right, but just I do that sometimes when I listen to vocals. Not that folks copy folks, but it's just like you can kind of hear the influence, which is like that's a beautiful nod. So I was just wondering, like, who are some of the people that you have listened to along the way that you kind of pull from? Yeah, so.
Recently or like way back when?
Could be, yeah. It could be anytime.
Oh
Yeah, yeah,
gosh.
yeah.
Well, oh my goodness. Well, I really grew up listening to I loved R&B and I
Hmm.
loved rap at the time.
Yeah.
Rakim,
Ah.
LL, Queen Latifah, MC
Hmm.
Light, so many others, Bone Thugs and Harmony. And I grew up listening to a lot of more of your um, newer R&B styles, like
Okay.
the more like the streets, like a
Okay.
Jodeci. So I was a
Yeah.
big fan of like Jodeci intro portrait, like Jagged
Ah.
Edge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I was a crazy fan of Key Sweat. Um,
Ah.
yeah. But it wasn't probably and Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown
Mhm.
really inspired me because he's an entertainer. And I love the
Oh
fact
yeah.
that
Yeah.
I was able to
Hmm.
see an artist sing, dance, and rap. And I was like,
Hmm.
wow, like he was like the all around entertainer to me. Um,
Hmm.
I'm going to say Marvin Gaye. So I probably
Oh
Marvin Gaye is
yeah.
and Marvin Gaye, Carmen McRae.
Oh
Um,
wow. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
It's pretty. El Giro.
Oh.
Uh, Goodness gracious, and probably Stevie Wonder, because I
Oh.
used to do. I started out doing a lot of Stevie Wonder songs. Stevie Wonder.
Oh.
So who
Yeah.
are you thinking? Oh Lord Jesus, who are you thinking?
Well, yeah. Stevie crept in, which is which
Oh
is a,
really?
a wonderful thing. Just not. It's just something about your delivery and the um how you land on a note and how you sustain.
Yes.
So just all really good stuff that you're doing, and and it kind of that's why I wanted to ask about influences because it pointed me to like, oh, you listen, you do your homework, and this is product we get. So yeah, I was curious.
Yeah.
So
Stevie's like
yeah.
the first because I've always been I always wanted to kind of maybe not emulate, but I've been fascinated with the male voice, and
Mm,
I love a challenge, and so
mm-hmm.
uh, I started out doing Isn't She Lovely?
Oh, it's a favorite.
If You Really Love Me. I was doing
Oh,
songs no females were doing, and I was
right.
Stevie Wonder was in my repertoire, and Smokey Robinson, big
Oh,
Smokey Robinson fan. I left him out.
songwriter. Yeah. All right. Because you know, we got the wonderful cover from you, which is awesome.
Oh yeah.
The Smoky Tune.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, yeah,
You.
yeah, yeah, yeah. A serious writer. So that's, yeah, much respect when we talk about
Thank
Smokey,
you.
because, oh, and to you, yeah, yeah, absolutely. Just had a couple more questions for you. Um, what what are you looking toward? I know we just kind of gotten into this year, although it seems like this year has been a year already in the first 2 or 3 weeks. But what are some big things on the horizon for you this year that you're looking toward? Um,
Well, I want to release the EP this year, and I want to be able to work on some other projects with some other producers. I'm sorry.
hmm.
Mm.
Oh, you're fine.
Yes. So I want to be able to broaden my horizon
Hmm.
and work with the producers.
Okay.
So I have a couple in mind, and we've been talking
Oh,
about getting
wonderful.
together and creating. So that's the
Hmm.
plan. Definitely to get that EP done
Okay. Yeah.
and put it out because the audience is kind of hungry for it. They're like, Kea,
Oh,
we're
good.
out, we're the EP. And then I just want to continue creating. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, I mean, and I love the theme, the running theme about, you talking about creation and, being an active creator. I mean, that's really what it's about. And I mean, and when you're bringing new music or you're putting a new spin on older music, that creates new
Mm,
memories for people. And so I think that's really, really a beautiful, part of what you do. So
thank you.
yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you
you're
so
very welcome. So one question we like to ask um, is, what is your definition of grown folks music? We always ask that question. So
It's mature music that's
mm,
created for an adult audience.
mm, okay,
Mature music created for an adult audience.
okay, I like that. Might have
Yes.
we'll give you credit, but I really like that a lot.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, also, one thing that we like to do, it's all about making connections when we do these spotlights. So we like to, open the floor for you to let everybody know where to connect with you. Your favorite places. I know some of them, but some of your favorite places to hang out online and just, yeah, just all things Kia really is what this part where you shouted out. Yeah.
Okay. Social media, pretty
Hmm.
big on Instagram, as you know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love Instagram, so I'm there under Music by Kea. I'm
Yeah.
on Twitter under Music by Kea and Facebook under Music by Kea. Um, I'd love for you to subscribe to my YouTube
Okay.
channel, which is Kea TV. It's spelled KEA. And you can also check out my website, which is
Mhm.
www.musicbykea.com. Yeah.
Oh, this has just been wonderful, Kia. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this, and
Oh, thank you for
apologize
having
for.
me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You're so
Oh
dope.
yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
whoever's listening out there, look, I'm trying to work with you. I mean, I don't know if everybody
Anytime.
knows you're such a fabulous musician.
Oh, thank
And
you
I mean,
so
I love
much.
what you do. I mean, I love the
Oh
platform, post music.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
awesome.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, no. We really appreciate that. And yes, in 2021, we're going to make that happen. I would love to work with you, and
I'm going to
we
hold
we
you
should
to
talk. Oh yeah, and we should talk about those covers because we're actually working on a covers thing with grown folks. So yeah, we will do that.
Oh,
We will
really?
definitely
Okay,
do.
all
Yeah,
right. I
yeah,
definitely want to be
yes.
part of it. Definitely.
Oh,
Yes.
wonderful, wonderful. Well, we appreciate that, and thank you again. And we look forward to posting and seeing all the great music that you're going to bring to us in 2021.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank you,
thank you,
Ivan. Thank you,
thank you, Kia.
grownfolksmusic.com.
Yes. All right.
grownfolksmusic.com